Hey there, everybody. This is Kristin from Teaching Balance, and I'm back with you this week to do another 10-minute practice. And for this one, I thought we would do something that is similar to what we've done before. It's kind of related to the idea of a body scan, but instead of doing a full body sort of sequential from one part of the body to another kind of a scan, I thought we would instead rest our attention just on one body part. And the inspiration for this is for some people when it comes to really just focusing on one thing, the breath, which tends to be the most common, just for some reason just doesn't work for them, maybe all the time, maybe some of the time. And so I kind of feel that the idea of resting your attention on just one body part has a quality of the breath in terms of its simplicity and straightforwardness, but it's just a bit more concrete and for some people a bit more useful. So for our practice today, the invitation will be to rest your attention on your hands. You could certainly choose a different part if you wanted to, but I think there's just a general neutrality to the hands that make them pretty ideal when it comes to just resting your attention. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And of course, if you're not in the mood to do that and you're more interested in doing something that's more breath focused or sound focused, obviously you're welcome to continue to do that throughout this practice as well. But if you want to follow my prompts, they'll be focusing more on the hands. So go ahead and get started. I'll get my timer set up for 10 minutes. And if you haven't already, allowing yourself to settle into whatever position you've chosen, whether you're lying down or sitting on a cushion or sitting in a chair. Allowing yourself just to feel supported by whatever is underneath you. And if you'd like to, taking a few deep, cleansing belly breaths. Using those deep breaths where you really fill up the lungs on the inhale from the bottom to the top. And then completely exhale, emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. And doing this for a few times. And of course, you may have your eyes closed or perhaps just lowered with your gaze looking down at the ground in front of you. Whichever you've chosen, continuing to just rest and as best you can be fully present with this moment. And so when you're ready, I'd like for you to, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and rest your attention on your hands. Noticing the position of each hand. They may be similarly positioned, they may be differently positioned. Noticing what is the texture of whatever your hands are resting on. So if your hands are on skin, for example, feeling what that skin feels like. Or if your hands are resting on clothing, pillow, whatever it might be, just noticing what that feels like as your hands rest in this relaxed position. And if the hands aren't feeling particularly relaxed today, that's okay. If you would like to, you can choose to perhaps relax them, disengage any muscles that might be in use that don't need to be. But you also can just allow yourself to be present with however things are for you in this moment for your hands. Just noticing. Additionally, noticing what does it feel like as the air makes contact with whatever exposed parts of your hands. Make that contact with the air. Does the air feel cool or warm, dry or humid? Is the air around you still, or is there some movement and air circulation that you can feel in the hands? Just noticing whatever it is that you can notice in this moment. And of course, your mind will wander to thoughts and plans and memories and ideas, remembering that that's expected, and then you're just going to bring your attention back to resting on the hands. We've explored the surface of the hands. Now perhaps, if you care to, feeling a little bit more internally, seeing if you can feel the various muscles, ligaments, and connective tissue. The hands are so complex, so beautifully designed. What can you notice? And if for some reason you're having a difficult time really noticing much sensation, just allowing yourself to be curious and interested and accepting of that as well. Noticing if there's any difference in sensation between the two hands. Perhaps one is in sunshine and the other in shade. One might feel perhaps a little bit more easily noticeable than another. Just observing whatever it is that you can observe for these last few moments of the meditation. Bring your attention back again and again, knowing that it's okay to wander, and it's at that mind wandering, that noticing of the mind wandering, to which we bring an attitude of compassion and kindness and gentleness. And then after you've noticed you're lost in thought, perhaps you label those thoughts as thinking, or even more specifically, planning or remembering. Very kindly and gently bring your attention back to the present. And for our practice today, allowing your attention to rest on any noticeable sensation that may exist in the hands. Noticing if there's any change in sensation, or perhaps it seems that the sensation is rather static. Feeling the outside and the inside of your hands as best you can, and resting there, taking a break from all that thinking and planning for this short time that remains. And that is 10 minutes. So hopefully you found that this resting your attention on your hands was of value. I really like it, if you didn't get that impression already, because I do feel that that's something that we can always pay attention to and notice pretty easily, whether it's the hands or the feet. And again, there's always that quality of neutrality, which I think is useful as well, unlike maybe like your neck or your back or something like that. So thank you as always for taking the time to practice with me, and of course for taking the time to take care of yourself and do this practice. So until next week, take care and have a good one. Bye.